Hey everyone, this is Josh McClary from Consider It Burrito. I would like to let everyone know that I am trying to put together a Consider It community club to grow Three Sisters Mounds. And let me tell you a little bit about that. The reason I'm doing it too is so that I can help grow my body, mind, and soul together. And I really think it would be important for all of us to try to find ways to do that. And I'm trying to give us ways to do that. And one way I know that we can do that is if we find something successful to do. And I think that we can successfully grow a meal out at Loesch Farms. And I appreciate Jeff, and I want to say thanks to Jeff and Community Culture Inc. for of hosting our space out there. And we're going to give Community Culture Inc. 10% of anything we grow. And that's a privilege and an honor to be able to serve our community. I think it's going to help us do great things. So, listen, I'm really sad about the state of affairs, and I think a lot of us are. And I just want to give us something to be hopeful for. And I know that something works, and let me share it with you. It's called the Three Sisters, and I've adjusted Three Sisters just a little bit to make it work even better. But first of all, the Three Sisters is an ancient way of growing food, and I believe that I've heard that it is what the natives taught essentially to the pilgrims to keep them alive. All right. So, in a way, I think that I want to try to grow us Thanksgiving together, and I want us to start thinking about it right now. And so, this is what I am going to do out at Loesch Farms, and I invite anyone to join me to reach out to me because this is about working together to grow something together. And I'm going to tell you my whole plan. And so I'm excited always about the Three Sisters. Why I'm saying this now is April 15th here in Indiana is a good time to plant the first sister, which is corn. All right. So we're going to plant corn, and we're going to also plant sunflower seed. And I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But just imagine about a 6 foot across mound. You could say it's 3 feet high of just something composted soil. So you have to think that part through, and I don't have enough time to go over that. That's a whole thing. But imagine we've got ourselves some magical compost machine, and we're making a pile. Let's just stick to the first pile. In the center of the pile, more or less, and leave space on the outsides, several feet, we're going to grow corn. We're going to grow sunflower seeds. All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, sunflowers. So when you get your corn, I have sweet corn and I have a bag of sunflowers, plenty of sunflowers that I'm going to grow. All right. And I'm going to get those growing around the 15th. Okay. Now, what would be great is the next sister that I'm going to plant would be the squash. But the thing is, the squash, you got to kind of wait till the ground's a little warmer. So what I typically do is kind of wait it out. In the first week of May, I'll plant the squash. And what I'm going to plant this year is I've got left over from last year, the Waltham butternut squash. Now these are enormous, tasty, extremely productive, delicious, amazing butternut squash, which is going to be important for what I want to come out of this project. So I've got sunflowers, and I've got corn, and I've got butternut squash. Now, once the sunflowers are yay high, and I'm going to check my books probably about when I want to wait, several weeks, then you're going to want to plant your beans because they're going to grow up the stalks of the sunflower. It's important, not the corn, the sunflower. Pick sturdy, tall sunflower. They're like 12-foot tall sunflower. So they're going to have much better roots. I've learned this the hard way than sweet corn. So what I then plant, this is sort of something I've learned. This is something the natives, they did not have, is we've got these, we seed today. This is through our seed technology. Can you see that? I don't know if you can read that. I'm sorry. I'll read it to you. We've got red noodle pole beans, and we've got python pole beans. Now, if you haven't seen these beans, they're green beans, but they're like 2 feet long. Okay, and they are plenty good, and they're red, sort of a purplish, and they're green. So you've got two colors, and these will grow right up the sunflower. So I'm planting them around the same time that I'm planting the squash. Now the thing about the squash is, since it's getting a late start, let's say I plan on through the course of the next month or even two, you can keep planting. I want to end up with 10 mounds or whatever number of mounds. Plant all your squash on the same day in clusters, all right? So as they sprout, you can just move them around as you need to. So if you want a highly productive meal, which is what we're going to focus on for Considerate Community Club, I think I'm going to call this, but we're going to do a meal, and I want to try to get people involved and figure out how to make this meal as plentiful and as cheaply as we can, and figure out we're already going to be giving community culture 10%, which is awesome. So we're just trying to come up with new ways to spread good gravity, good ideas that work. And I know that this Three Sisters thing will feel good because even in hard times, it's designed to work. The butternut squash will shelter the roots. It will crowd out weeds incredibly well. And then you've got the corn holding, the sunflowers, most importantly, holding the beans up, and the beans will be fixing nitrogen, which reminds me, nitrogen fixing is extremely important, which the Three Sisters are going to naturally do, but also you want something that's going to help you with weed control. And so we have today amazing seed technology, and we've got the Three Sisters complement that I like to add in, and I call it, and I mean, it's not really a sister. It's more or less, it's a gravity filler, if you think about it, because as our sisters move through the gravity of time, the weeds are going to wish they were there too. But guess what? If there's three-leaf clover there instead of weeds, that's going to be very helpful. And so, and the three-leaf clover is going to complement all the sisters as well. So it's a fantastic addition. And so think about that. You got yourself a 5 foot or so around a little structure of Three Sisters moving through time towards your meal. Get your friends together. I hope to get some folks involved, and we can all work through our differences through the Three Sisters. That's my goofy way of thinking. But anyways, it works, and what I intend to do is harvest it. I hope folks will help me. I'm going to try to get the kids involved. The Considerate kids have said that they want to work with me in the garden and harvest some meals. We're in the business of making burritos, you better believe it. But this thing, this Three Sisters meal, I feel like is something great we could look forward to and do for fun and enjoyment, and find a way, hopefully, to make money for one another inside of our community. And that's my idea. I needed to give myself some light. I hope that gives you guys some light. Three Sisters, ask me any questions. But again, I love the Waltham butternut squash. I love having a tall sunflower in there with the delicious sweet corn. And get the pole beans, the python beans, get the red and the green, the 2 foot beans. It makes sense to have an enormous amount of green beans instead of just the normal little ones. And you'll be off to the races. And you can just mix in all kinds of pumpkins with that as well if you want, which I'll do too, so the kids can have jack-o'-lanterns. It's a great way to grow, and it's a great way to bring a community together, in my opinion. So love, courage, and wisdom, and I hope that this helps. I know it helps a lot more than me saying bullshit on Facebook. So I love you all. Take care.